and welcome to Herman Manyora's channel. My name is Jadiel, Kabiro. It's always a pleasure to see you joining us for these conversations that I hope will be able to build this country even as we are progressing towards the 2022 presidential elections. Today's conversation is a conversation we didn't expect. Prof, how are you doing today though?
I'm very okay.
Justin Muturi, Speaker of the National Assembly, has joined Kenya Kwanza team, signed documents, I think it was on Saturday, to join Ruto's team. What impact will he bring?
I think nothing.
Oh.
Because what votes Ruto has on the mountain will not increase because of Justin Muturi.
Okay.
Yes. The only time Justin Muturi will affect the equation would be if Raila picked him as running mate.
Right.
Then you bring the Mount Kenya East, the question of Mount Kenya East. Just like if Raila took Peter Munya, Mount Kenya East. Quick gains. But Muturi joining Azimio, apart from the psychological boost, perception that now the mountain is locked, I don't think there is anything else.
Would he be a suitable candidate to deputize William Ruto's presidency?
Yeah, he can. Whoa. As a person, Justin Muturi is compact.
Oh, he has everything needed.
Yeah, he's a man of substance.
Okay.
And have you heard Muturi in any of these scandals? Chip stealing and what? Have you ever heard? Maybe he has done, we have not heard.
We only heard
I think
one.
Muturi has a name, a compact name you can sell anywhere. But in terms of whether he can add anything to Ruto, I'm not seeing it. In fact, perhaps you could talk of reducing Ruto's votes, Muturi. Why? It sends some signal to Western Province among the Luya people.
Oh.
You see, Mudavadi was the kingpin next to Ruto. Now he's going to share that space with another kingpin, Muturi. Because Muturi is not Rigathi Gachagua, he's not Ishungwa, he's not Ndini Nyoro, he's not Alice Wahome.
Yeah.
Muturi is a big name. And therefore, immediately, he must share some space with Mudavadi in Kenya Kwanza.
Okay.
And that kind of, it may send jitters, especially at once we confirm what kind of coalition they have put in place. Because the deadline was, I think, yesterday. Yeah. So we will see. If they are not going as a coalition party, it will mean perhaps then the running mate will come from UDA.
So are you saying we are likely to see the Azimio crack situation in Kenya Kwanza?
Yes. Because now, Mudavadi has been rather, well, not quite assertive. But now we will see an assertive Mudavadi fighting for space now that Muturi has come.
Okay.
Where does that leave me? How are we moving forward? You get it?
Yeah.
So the three-legged stool of Kalonzo Musyoka is beginning to come.
To Kenya Kwanza.
Because Muturi cannot just go there. He must make demands. He must be one of the legs of the three-legged stool.
Okay.
Initially, it was one-legged stool. One. The Turkana type. I think Turkana, there are people who have a stool with one leg.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
UDA, Ruto alone. Then Mudavadi came, and grudgingly, the stool has had two legs.
Three with the fifth.
Oh, three. Three. But, Ruto was having two legs.
Oh.
Now, Muturi will claim one of the legs. And that is going to affect Mudavadi a bit.
What does this mean for UDA now in the coalition? Because UDA seemed to be the dominant party. With all this party coming into play, are we going to see a weaker UDA? UDA
is still, what seems to be working for UDA is that at the time of joining a coalition or allowing other people to join them, they were already strong. Okay. The undisputed king within the kingdom. So others are joining as weaker parties.
Okay.
I think maybe it was a strategy on their part. To strengthen your party first, then by the time you invite other people, they are coming as weaker members.
Okay.
So UDA will still remain predominant.
Let's talk about what is also happening within the Kenya Kwanza team, accusing the NCIC of collaborating with state agencies and the government to push them down. The slogan Sipangwingwi has been termed as a slogan that can cause chaos in the country, and they should refrain from using it. What do you think of this slogan? Sipangwingwi loosely translating to we cannot be arranged, we cannot be shown the way. What do you think? Is this a bad slogan when it comes to campaigning, and NCIC has exaggerated it?
Under very rare circumstances, and I'm talking as a communication expert, as a linguist also.
Yeah.
Under very rare circumstances, would you find a name having a special meaning and applied across borders and across contexts? Very rare.
Okay.
Because words have their ordinary meaning. In their ordinary meaning, words are innocent. A word just means what it means.
Okay.
But for it to have some other connotative meaning, other meanings, you blow it away from the ordinary meaning and give it other special meanings. Then, in that arrangement, that second case, it can have what you want to see as maybe dangerous, bad meaning, you know,
Yeah.
sensitive, and so on and so forth. In our case, hate speech.
Yeah.
Now, if you are to look at a word in that manner, then it must be understood within context. And you can therefore not list words and say these words are bad, because the speaker, those words belong to the speakers of that language.
Okay.
You can't tell them not to use their words.
Look at what the Deputy President said on it. He said to our competitors, please try and cobble together a plan and an agenda to sell to the people of Kenya. Stop wasting your time trying to re-engineer our literature. Is this what is happening in the country currently? NCIC coming into play, trying to show us that we cannot use
I want to be kind
words
to these people, because some of them are old people like me, Kobia. But even if I try to be kind, I'll just say rubbish.
Oh.
Yeah. You cannot list words and say they are bad. Under various circumstances, will you have a word that across usages, across context, like nigger. But you see, when nigger only has that sensitive meaning to be avoided when you are in America.
And if it's the white person saying it, the black
And even if it's a white person. Because black people just say you nigger, and we use nigger here.
Yeah?
Don't we?
Yeah, uptown, maniga.
You are my niggers. You know, they cannot look at this nigger, very positively.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get a word and arrest it and say, this word, I will list it as a bad word. It's very, very difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. Because words have a meaning within usage.
What do you think then NCIC should do if now they're seemingly fighting with the Kenya Kwanza side? Deputy President, even while he was welcoming Justin Muturi to Kenya Kwanza, he said, Sipangwingwi. Even Justin Muturi said, Ata mimi Sipangwingwi. What should NCIC do?
They are wasting their time. Any expert will go and tell them off in court. If you take somebody to court, he brings me in as an expert witness. I will show the court is a waste of time.
Oh.
But they can warn certain politicians in specific instances and say, Moses Kuda, if you continue calling people this name, our understanding, and I think the understanding of every average Kenyan, is that you are being very derogative, very insensitive, and you can cause problems. The way in which you use, the timing, and the references people can see you are making can bring chaos in this country.
Okay.
And therefore, we warn you, if you use this word again ever, you will face the law. And you can convince a court the way Moses Kuda is referring to people as uncircumcised is dangerous, and it can cause chaos in the country.
Oh.
That is...
Do you think they should have come up plainly and said that these words we're going to examine them in your speeches to know the context of them? Is that what should have been said?
Yeah. Just say, well, you people are using words very, very, very loosely. Be informed that once we establish the context, the usage,
of these
we
words
can charge you.
Okay.
But you cannot list a word.
So the Deputy President is the right to continue using the word because even though NCIC has warned, or is it playing bad for him as a presidential aspirant?
No, you know, as a man who wants to be president, you must also show you obey the law. You have respect for the law. And let your lawyers and other people argue. Yeah. In fact, you can move to court.
Oh.
And say, because what these people are saying doesn't make any sense. We want to be allowed to continue using. But we will be careful how we use.
What does this show if it's trying to fight state organs, state agencies, trying to fight agencies that have been put in place to help this country curb hate speech, curb violence in the country. What does it show on his side? Because I think some few minutes later he came up with the song Sipangwingwi.
No, wrong.
What does it
First
show?
of all, as a man who aspires to be president, you must show you respect the rule of law. A law need not be sensible, but you need to respect it. A verdict of a court need not agree with your opinion and your thinking, but you respect it.
Okay.
But you can appeal against it. I'm saying they can move to court and challenge. But before that, you have to show you respect the law.
Okay.
Now, you may gain because when people like defiant people, defiance sells you. And that's what has brought Raila where he is. Defiance. It sells you. If you want to use that route, fine.
Let me ask you this finally then.
Yes.
NCIC, when you look at it as an agency, will it be able to deal with some of these problems we've been facing as a country? Dealing with hate speech, dealing with violence?
That body can't do anything. NIC can't. Even in cases where they can prosecute, they don't know how to prosecute. I'm telling you, and this is not common in this country, expert witness in a court, expert witness can sway. I saw a case many years ago of a cigarette company taking another cigarette company and saying, you people, you are using almost something similar to us, benefiting from our brand, a brand that has lasted many years. But they lost the case. If they had taken me, I would be successfully showed the court, I would have shown the court very successfully that when you see a packet of cigarettes looking green and maybe with a horse there, red, it was something like that,
Yeah.
but the name is different. So the guys are saying, but our name is different.
Oh.
The average human mind doesn't go into the details of the name. What are the things that bring recognition? The color, that horse picture. Few people will go to the name. And that's why you see this contraband, these fake goods. If you buy something that has 3 circles, you buy another thing that has 3 circles. But if you are keen, you realize, oh, these other on the circles are not complete circles. They get somewhere.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
But the average human mind doesn't go for details. Because if the human mind goes for details, you'll go mad. The human mind takes things, it perceives things in a very general way. And only discriminates and picks out what it wants under very special circumstances. When you are walking down here, there are so many things competing for your perception. You don't perceive all of them. And those you perceive, you don't process them. But if a snake passed,
you process it quickly.
Quickly. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
So
that's how the human mind
saying
works.
NCIC needs...
So NCIC needs experts to help it prosecute. But they just go hate speech. What's hate speech? What do you mean? Hate speech. How is it hate speech?
No, kama noma is also part of the words I had.
Come on, what does that mean? But if you are uttered in an environment or a context where there are people who are competing, come from different ethnic backgrounds, and they are very heated thing, and say, come on, Norma, come on, buy. You are charging people, they can fight. You can be prosecuted. But if you and I say here, Norma, come on, Norma, it means nothing.
Even in football, they say, come on, Norma.
Yeah, so they may be well-meaning, well-intentioned. Because we must manage this thing. We can ban our country. So they are well-meaning, well-intentioned, but they need experts to help them.
Okay. Let's end the conversation there. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Political Conversations. I've been a conversation on Kenya Kwanza, Justin Muturi joining in, and also NCIC saying some of the words they've been using have not been good words. They can cause hate speech. Well, until we do have these conversations again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jadiel Kabiro. Remember to subscribe. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.